Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today in this video we will be looking at how to do monitor calibration and profiling using the xrite i1 Display Pro, and then I will demonstrate the process using the software iProfiler which comes with the product. It's very important that you be able to trust your monitor color accuracy. If your monitor doesn't have the right color and contrast setting, then your prints are going to look much darker while you send it for prints. It is important that we calibrate the monitor for professional work before we start our editing process. The calibration process is actually a two-step process. In the first step, this device which sits on your monitor reads your monitor brightness, contrast and color and gives you instructions on how to fix it. The calibration process is actually a two-step process. In the first step, this device which sits on your monitor reads your monitor brightness, contrast and color and gives you instructions on how much to adjust the settings on your monitor itself. So you're actually changing your hardware settings on your monitor. In my monitor, I personally have buttons that allow me to control all the necessary settings such as brightness, color and contrast. If you are on a laptop or a Mac, you may in fact only have access to setting the brightness, and that setting may be on your keyboard regardless. The next step of the process is the profiling process, which takes care of any continued inaccuracy after you have set the settings of your monitor. It remeasures the brightness, contrast, color of your monitor to detect those continued inaccuracies. And it creates this set of instructions called a profile that Lightroom and other photo editing softwares like Photoshop, Lumina, AI will use. The product we will be looking at is the iDisplay Pro, and this, I think in Australia it's around $450 currently, and this is what we will be using. And now let's get on with the process of how to calibrate your monitor. Once you have connected the device through the USB, open up the application iProfiler, then you will end up in this screen. With my device, you can see I've got the monitor and the projector calibration available. Depending on your device and the license, you will see the licensing feature here. On the left hand side you've got the display, projector, profiling I can do, but printer and the other workflows I can't because I don't have the licensing for it. Once you upgrade the license, you will have access to the printer calibration and the scanner. So let's just get on with our display calibration, monitor calibration. So you go click the profiling. So once you click the profiling, you will end up in this window. At the moment I've got a 4K monitor connected, so that's what you are seeing. So you just select that display. Depending on the screen config, the software will automatically choose. Mine is the white LED. But if you are in your MacBook and stuff, you might be going through wide gamut or the other options. But the product will, the application will select the relevant monitor. And the white point, I usually set it to the D65 format because of photography printing work. That's the recommended standard. Some people leave it to native, but I prefer to go with the D65 so that whenever I send the print out to the printing company, it's much more clearer. The luminance value varies from 80 to 120, that's the recommendation, but I stick to my 100 from my point of view, but you can test it out using your 80 or 120. I leave the gamma settings to 2.2 and the contrast ratio native. If you want, you can measure and adjust for flare. All you have to do is just tick and untick. It depends on how your setup is at your home. Depending on that, just make sure that if you get any flares from the sun rays, if you are sitting close to the window, prefer to tick this on, and then you can tick this based on your ambient light profile as well. So just make sure before you start calibrating the monitor, make sure you are in the environment where you will be editing your images. I usually set one in the morning daylight as well as one at night. I've got two profiles, so I just switch over whenever I work in that environment. So it's totally up to you how you want to calibrate. So the next, once you are set up with this, go to the next step. You will see the profile settings, use default, so I don't change this much. I just leave it as it is. So just proceed with the next window. Once you are in this window, you've got default patches. So the patches vary from small, medium, large. So depending on what you choose, the calibration happens to your monitor based on the patch test. So the more, I prefer to have set it up to large so that you have more gamut. The calibration happens with large patches and it's more accurate. The color accuracy is more accurate. But there are I have seen few videos in the past where people choose medium as well, and there's not much difference between the medium and large. If you think about it, medium is sampling 200 level patches, but the large is double of it. So it depends on your preference, but I stick to 461 and then I go click next. So once you are in this panel, you see here your device is ready, and the display hardware setup, you can manually adjust the brightness, contrast and the RGB values while calibration, but I tend to tick the automatic display control so that the software takes care of pretty much everything. Once you are done with this, click start measurement and the device will go ahead and start sampling the patches. So once you click next, start measurement, the device will instruct you how to keep the device on your monitor. Slightly tilt your monitor and make sure that the lens is on the center. The device lens is on the center, and then pretty much click OK, and then the system will ask you what and all it needs to change. I don't tick the RGB controls because I prefer to have that control myself with the sRGB color space. So contrast, brightness, click next, and the device will start sampling your calibration using the sampling of that color patches. So I will speed up this process a bit and I will see you on the next window. If you like the content of the video, please give me a like and consider subscribing to my channel and hit the bell notification, and whenever I load a new video, you will get the notification. And as you can see, the measurement, the patches are done. Click the next button, then you can create your profile name. You can type in the name and the date when you have created this ICC profile, and then leave it at user level. I usually leave the profile reminder to 4 weeks so that it reminds you that after 4 weeks you need to recalibrate your monitor. And I leave the monitoring mode to off because I won't be connecting the equipment all the time, so it won't measure the ambient light monitoring. And then you hit save profile and it will generate the profile for you. So you can see the target and achieved. We are not too much off, so that way we have got the right calibration. And then on the top you can actually see the curves as well as a portrait image icon. You can go and click that so that it gives you before and after calibration. You just do the drop down, so there is a before and how the color looked and after. So that's pretty much it. I hope you have gained some knowledge on how to calibrate your monitor through this video, and I'll see you all in my next one.